What's up? This your boy MDAVIS, and hey, this is the Riding Out All Day Podcast, and of course, I got my fucking co-host. I don't know what the fuck his name is gonna be today, but introduce yourself, pimp.
You already know. It's your boy Lord Wayne, aka Wayne J. Trump, aka Homeboys in Outer Space.
Oh my fucking god. And today,
this bitch. Let's get it.
And today we got a special guest, AVN award winner, performer of the year, Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Yo, being in the Hall of Fame for getting banged is crazy.
Hall of Famer, Audrey Hollander.
Hello. Thank you for having me on. I'm so happy to be here this evening.
Yes.
And we are happy to have you here.
Thank you. When you say that, it's crazy. I think about, wow, like I'm so happy about my recent induction into the Hall of Fame. I feel pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah, that's dope. You know, any type of Hall of Fame is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Like even like I can't even imagine being in the Hall of Fame for sex. That means you're like an absolute goat at it. That's crazy to me. Like,
thank you. Thank you. I feel pretty like accomplished on a lot of levels. I am, but it's cool because like honestly, I'm rediscovering my sexuality for like a different place and time in my feminine energy. So it's really cool to be more like of a powerhouse that is like, not that I wasn't genuine when I first entered the industry, but like, there was like an agenda and like, I was fitting what was ever being like marketed, which, at the time I was down to do whatever because I was like, I wanted to make my place and my mark, which I think I did.
I mean, you're in the Hall of Fame, so clearly you did. Definitely.
And it was great, but it was a lot of my sexual presence back then was driven by, the people in charge. And as we all know, we live in a patriarchal system, and from like 15 years ago, things have changed quite a bit on different levels, especially when it comes to the power that the talent yields and like just feminine energy in general, and how we kind of cater differently to, how we approach the presence of the camera and like how things are interpreted. So it's pretty cool and interesting to see the development and to come back into the industry after, this different time frame, and just reintroducing myself to a different part of my own sexuality, and, rebranding myself as a MILF this time around. It's pretty cool.
MILF.
Have you encountered any judgment from people who knew you during your hiatus, and how did you deal with that? We getting right into it, I see. Let's go.
Well, I don't think that, I always look at the glass half full, regardless of what energy I encounter. So, I think that I truly am, as I've gotten older, have become the alchemist of my life that is like, gonna turn it whatever way that I need. I make the energy work for me regardless. And I don't know, honestly, I don't know if anybody has given me that kind of energy. I don't think so. It's just different in that, like, it's not as hardcore. I almost want to say that the industry seems very,
commercial?
My era of, well, it is commercial. It's very, very commercial and corporate, but beyond that, the shtick is kind of like a comedy, or like, it's like slapstick almost porn. It's almost, you look at like this black.
Hold on. So you said slapstick comedy. What comedy would the industry be right now? What comedy?
Well, you look at like how the faces are for like brazzers and people, and like everybody's like doing these crazy, like, kind of like, it's almost like a comedy, a lot of it. And it started with kind of the parodies, which I did a few, like the I Love Lucy parody, like right there towards my, the beginning of when I kind of took a break, but it's definitely turned into, it's kind of sticky, I guess. You don't think so?
Believe it or not, I don't watch a lot of porn.
Yeah, about to say.
Okay.
And not because, like I'm kind of in the industry, but I'm kind of not in the industry. But I don't really watch. I just pay attention. I pay attention to what's going on, but not what's going down. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, it's not all like that. There is some good stuff that I've seen that were more cinematic, kind of there's only 2 major companies now that own all the other little sub companies, but like I said, everything's changed. There's no more days of the big contract stars that you remember, Brazzers has their girls, but it's just Brazzers, and then
so it's kind of like the music industry.
Yeah,
it's a big monopoly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as kind of creative and seedy almost. I don't miss that part of the industry. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of where you're oh wow. But yeah, it's just a different era of filmmaking for sure. And it's not bad. I think there's more safety involved and there's a lot of really good aspects, but it's totally different than what people would consider the golden era of porn, people having parties at Hugh Hefner's and Larry Flint ruling everything, and it's just it's a totally different era in the industry for sure. I feel like I got off onto a tangent there.
you got your shit off real quick. We're not mad at that. You came in smoking. Moody, what we got?
I was sitting here watching this Aaron Hernandez shit because I heard he can break it out of jail. But outside of that, the Tyson fight, man. I wanted to get into the fight a little bit. Did you watch the fight, Audrey?
Oh my gosh, you know what? I was so upset that no, I didn't get to watch it. I was dog sitting for a fur baby and I didn't realize that it was on, and I was oh my gosh, the next day I saw you could see it on Netflix or whatever because it had already happened, and I was dang, I missed it because I saw the live one where he got where he bit Holyfield's ear off, and I was in high school. I was it was so good, and so I was rather disappointed. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So wait. So settle a bet for me. Is it Louisville or Louisville? Which one is it?
It's Louisville. You know what I mean. Everybody from Louisville says Louisville. So I'm a transplant out here to California over 20 years. So I think that I've for the most part, tried to clean up my dialect so that I
Louisville.
Yeah, they say Louisville, but people like us say Louisville. I always thought it was Louisville, but they say Louisville.
It is. It's a southern drawl that comes along with it in drag that definitely Louisville. Yeah.
So who did you have winning the fight?
Well,
keep it real. Now that you know the results, keep it real. Did you have it first?
Okay, so honestly, I was the old man could have
the old man.
Because you know what I mean? You gotta give it to him, man. The guy is crazy, and there's the element of crazy that goes along with him, and that's where I was there's an unpredictable potential here. We all know this, so what's gonna happen? Who knows? It could be an unfair fight, and it didn't get that way, but you never know.
Well, it's hard for you to knock somebody out when you stand to lose $25 million if you put them on the ass. So I see how that works out.
My co-host, he took Tyson.
Of course, Tyson would have punched his head off had he not had to calm down so he didn't lose the bet.
And I took what's his name again?
You don't even know his name.
Logan Paul or is it Jake Paul? Oh, Jake Paul. I took Jake Paul. But I took him for a knockout. So all my bets were knockout bets, and he didn't knock him out, so I lost my money. Ain't that some shit?
He barely punched him.
You still get the W. Well, think about it. He said it. He was like, yo, I kind of felt bad beating this dude up. He was like, I kind of felt bad. And I want to say this, though. Shout out to Mike Tyson for getting in that ring. He said it was personal. It was something he wanted to do for himself. He walked out by himself, which is crazy. In his 20 years of boxing, that ain't never happened. I feel like it was a message in that alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of symbology behind that, I would think, especially at this point in his life. He's in that cycle, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I thought about it. I'm like, damn, could I have won 8 rounds just sparring, not even boxing and getting hit all crazy, like, pause. Could I do that? And I was like, probably not. So shout out to Mike. You still got your ass whooped. He still got his ass whooped, but shout out to Mike.
That's amazing. I didn't realize the amount of rounds that he had gone. I didn't watch the fight. I saw that it had streamed, but I kind of, you know, there was a spoiler alert and someone already told me.
Yeah. Speaking of rounds, how many rounds have you gone professionally in your field of?
You're a Hall of Famer.
We're like rounds? Do you mean like how many guys in one day, or do you mean like how many scenes in one day? Like
how many? What's the most amount of scenes in one day?
Okay, so definitely. Okay, so I used to, when I was producing for my own company, I've done 2 scenes a day because I wanted to, like, you know, make the most of the time of having control and like all of that. So,
you made Otto and Audrey Destroy the World. I am so interested to learn about what that movie was about. I looked all over for it and could not find it. I really was trying to watch this movie.
It's on Tubi, nigga.
It's some pretty hardcore stuff. It's like back when like we were trying to see like what limits can you push with people, and so I mean we were like known for extreme sex and you know, doing very hardcore acts, like you know, back then it was like a lot of like, you know, DPs and double anal, double vag, like lots of groups of people. There was like, you know, pretty intense sex, you know, and it was like the further you can push it, the harder it was, you know, in some regards. And it's like more up the avenue of like Evil Angel style, or like, you know, the hardcore companies. But that's
so
what the industry was driven by, that type of sex when I was in it. So I don't know, it was like what my first husband at the time, Otto Bauer, really was into that type of sex. So I'm a good woman and I catered to my man.
Wait. Otto Bauer? Was he in the industry also?
Yeah, he was in the industry at the time, and he was the person that I got in the business with. And I, you know, got into a period of my life where that no longer was working out, and I left the business, got married again, you know, ended up doing more life things outside of the industry, and now I'm single and making the decision, to re-enter the industry as a MILF and rebrand myself, because I mean this is a big thing right now, right? And so I'm like, hell yeah, this is perfect.
I had a question. Were there explosions or any kind of stunts in this movie that we're talking about?
No, there weren't in that one, but there's explosions like with orgasms and like penises and good times like that, you know. There's a few explosions of like looks, I'm sure, from all people involved in the like viewing or the making.
Speaking of MILF, I saw you just shot with Vixen. Tell us about that.
Ooh, well, there's some things that will be coming along. Everything is
top secret.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, they like to.
That's going to be coming, you know, soon. And so I'm excited about that, but that's like all I can say.
Vixen like to have you wait like we waited for this Tyson fight for the content. They have you wait forever.
They do. Yep. And I'm so excited. I hope that I get to shoot with them for a lot of other projects. I really think that their stuff is amazing. Like I look at how they like just shoot women in general. It's beautiful. So I like the way they portray women.
Moody, have you seen some of Vixen's stuff?
No, probably back in the day.
No. They're not old. They a new company. But
no.
I'm gonna give you like a visual. Just think Miami Vice and porn. Like, remember the new Miami Vice movie they put out?
With Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, so like the scenery and like the colors and
I think like the hottest thing they could do is put me in a scene with their new, I think they just signed Eva Evangelina, and I did a movie with her back in the day, her and Nikki Benz.
Shout out to her, because we just was talking to Eva at Exotica in Jersey. We chopped it up with her.
Nice. She is amazing, isn't she? She's got like the best energy ever. I really enjoy her.
She's funny as hell.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah, shout out to her. She just was on Alexis's Private Talk. Shout out to Private Talk Podcast too.
Oh, Alexis. I remember, those are girls from my era. So I didn't get to work with Alexis, like, personally. I just got to, like, be around her for, different working environments and on sets. And she's so beautiful. Oh my God. Amazing. Both of them.
Yeah, that's sis. Penthouse Magazine named you one of the freakiest motherfuckers, top 5 porn stars of all time. Is that?
Yes, indeed. That is correct.
Holy shit. I'm gonna have to look up some of your shit. You had this one picture that I saw where I was like, she has some flavor back in the day. And let's be clear, I'm old, Moody's old. We're probably older than you.
Yeah, I'm definitely old.
I don't know. How old are you? Are we allowed to talk about it? I mean, I think
absolutely. We have episodes named after our ages, so
my last birthday party we had, that episode was called 44, and I've had another birthday party since then, so that tells you my age right there. I'm old.
So you're more than 44 years old?
Yes. I am.
She's like, yeah, motherfucker, you old.
Then I'm going to be talking about myself because I just had a birthday.
Oh, shit.
You a Scorpio?
I am.
Oh, shit.
When's your birthday?
November 4th.
Oh, mine's the 7th. Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
That says a lot about you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, no wonder you in the AVN Hall of Fame. You're a Scorpio.
I mean, if you ask anyone who's been in bed with a Scorpio, male or female, they'll tell you it's the best sex they've had.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Caps get busy too now. Don't leave us out. Anyway.
No one said there is a whole line. There's 12 zodiac signs. We're just number 1.
That's it. Say it louder for the people in the back. That's it.
Okay. I'm gonna give y'all that for now.
It's fun. It's fun to be a Scorpio, and we're always good. We're a good time. I mean, honestly, there's not one Scorpio I don't like, but like other people looking at us and dealing with us, I know that you get, the good or the bad, whichever side you choose to bring out in us, seriously.
What's your most compatible sign, since we on signs?
Ooh, I love a bunch of the signs. I really do. There's so many different beautiful things that they all bring to the table. Like you're a Capricorn, and Capricorns are great. They're super organized. They're great at their job. They're very driven. They're good people, and they're like, honestly, they say that Capricorns are the most godly of all the signs, right? So they have like this, real presence of leadership in their group.
Hey, getting your sign read by a Hall of Famer is dope. You know what I'm saying?
And then Scorpios, we just know how amazing we are. We're just, kind of one of those friends who's, I think most Scorpios are definitely the character in the movie that are always like, they've always got a funny joke.
we the main character. We are the main character.
But seriously though, we always are so funny. Scorpios are really funny, which to me, a great personality goes a long way. Whether you're a smart ass kind of funny or like, the caliber of comedian, it varies from Scorpio to Scorpio, I think. But
speaking of characters, so I see you had a role in Eddie Van Halen's Catherine.
So he scored the soundtrack with Michael Nen for that movie.
Hold on, before you start, Moody, do you know who Eddie Van Halen is?
Yeah, he played the.
Okay, we on point.
Okay. Yeah, I know who it is.
Okay, alright. You can continue.
Yes. So my big movie of the year, I won Female Performer of the Year. I also did a movie called Catherine.
So 2006, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was produced and directed by Michael Nunn. And then Eddie Van Halen and him were friends at the time. And this is crazy. So Eddie had a crush on me, and I did not realize it.
I knew it.
So yes, he showed up when I was filming Neopornographia, and like I'm in the makeup chair, and somebody like one of the PAs comes up and they're like, Eddie Van Halen is here on set.
Wants to fuck you.
And he's here to see you. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is so bullshit. Like, are you for real? Like, I thought they were fucking with me. And I was like, just floored when I go downstairs, and then sure enough, there he fucking is sitting there in his bomber, like, leather jacket classic, right? No shirt, smoking a cigarette with a bottle of Smoking Loon, the wine that he was like known to drink. And just like being a total rock star. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And so, yeah, we just like, started chatting, and like he's all like starstruck by me, and I'm like starstruck by him.
Did you give him some pussy?
Oh my God, I don't kiss and tell. I don't kiss and tell.
I bet you he beat it that day.
Phones. Honestly, like iPhones and stuff were just like.
But wait, did you say?
Not that big.
You heard what I said.
It was still, I feel like it's still like back then, like kind of like the transition from like, CDs and DVDs to more this like content platform, you know what I mean? But anyway.
Rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen. I'm pretty sure your secret is safe with him.
I didn't know he was dead.
Right.
Yeah. He passed in 2020.
Damn, I didn't know that.
He had a final battle with cancer, unfortunately. But yeah, no, he was a great human, and he did score the soundtrack for Catherine. And I'm in a music video on YouTube with him that is the song that he wrote. I think like I'm the muse for this music, and it's just such a crazy honor at the time, because he was like divorcing Valerie Bertinelli at the time that he came flirting around with me. So yeah, it was it was that time in his life or whatever, and I got to muse one of the greatest fucking rock and roll players there ever was. Like, I honestly, I still forget about that sometimes, and I like, you have these moments in your life when you have so many, oh my God, like that's so fucking cool. I forgot about that part.
Any other celebrity encounters you had that you know?
50 Cent was one of the really coolest ones, like in an AVN convention. Which one was, I can't remember what year it was, but he came running through.
That's crazy. All the celebrities that have been to AVNs, like it's crazy.
Yeah, right. And so I think that was the time frame, whatever year that was, when like that kid Slater from what the fuck in yes, whatever that kid's name was like working for a red light district, and my God, that was like literally, like I said, like the golden era of porn, where things were like crazy. Like people were having. The golden
era was when you used to watch the Spice Channel. It used to be fuzzy. That was the golden era.
Well, I mean, like when you were a porn star, that's like Jenna Jameson, Club Jenna. Like back when I felt like being a star felt different.
Speaking of that, speaking of star, let me ask you this question. How do you feel about nowadays that every performer gets star put in the name just from, fucking on OnlyFans or fucking their boyfriend, shooting content on Twitter, whatever the case may be? Do you think it's like I put in too much work for y'all to be the same as me, or do you think it is what it is? Call yourself what you want to call yourself.
I know that people understand that there are different eras in every like type of performance art in the world. And if you're a smart connoisseur or someone that like even has like the bigger interest of like understanding what you're watching past just jacking off, you know what I mean? You know the difference in like, the art and just like the like it, and it doesn't offend me. It doesn't, because I think it's cool to like have people want to say that they're like you. Although I understand, you know, a different amount of work that goes into it. But like I said, I'm always trying to find where the glass is half full. And I mean, I think that these girls that are content creators don't have the same level of work that they have to put in, and they have to deal with a lot of like different aspects of, like creating a real movie. You know, it's just like these little like snippets of like,
yeah,
content pieces that like, it's just not the same. So,
that was kind of like you asking Michael Jordan what he thinks about today's NBA. Like, he doesn't talk about these young cats.
These young
it's
punks.
Not the same. It's not the same. But I don't want to be offensive to anyone. And like, you know, a lot of people these days will tell you, even in Hollywood, it's not even about if you're talented. People just want people who have a big following. Yeah. And I can tell you that, like, honestly, my following is not the like hugest, but I've grown it myself. It's all real people. I didn't buy any of my followers. Yeah. And like, I'm still learning like how to like maneuver on the platforms and like how to, I guess, get people to like me, but I think I'm shadow banned on most.
You just gotta show hella ass and titties. That's the go-to.
Well, you know, but
see,
that's
it's hard.
Following the rules. And as a creator that has got the corn part in front of my name, porn, you know, I think I can speak freely on
She said corn.
Right? Well, like, I don't want to, like, I don't know what to say anymore.
Over here on the road, you could talk your shit.
Okay, nice. I like that, because like it is true, because like, you know what I mean, that's like they don't understand. It's not the same. It really isn't. The things that I am really grateful that they feel like they're in a better environment, like safe wise, because I think that we had to deal with a lot more shit.
Absolutely.
You know, and it took a much tougher chick to deal with what I had to deal with.
Absolutely. It was actually, I think nowadays it's way more suitcase pimps than back then. Way more.
Oh yeah, for
way
sure. More. It's a different type. It's just everything is same but different. The type of work is like, it's not what we had to put up with. Like, there were 16, 17-hour days. I mean, not, you know, yeah. I mean,
it was a little more professional back then. A little more professional.
It was just like a real movie shoot, whereas these like,
y'all paid y'all taxes.
Content pieces just aren't shot the same, but the technology is different. But there's still porn being made the old school way.
I will say that though, that an iPhone camera could damn near do the same quality y'all was doing on those $20,000 cameras back in 2006. Yeah.
It's insane what people can do on their own with like the jump in technology and everything. Like, honestly, as a content creator myself, working on my OnlyFans platform, you know, I am impressed with what I can do just by myself, but what I know from being in the industry and like understanding lighting and like just like setup. But then you think about what the people on the other end want, and frankly, like the guys don't want the professional stuff that looks really. They want something that they know that you're shooting it, right? Yeah. So they don't want something that looks pro. They want to know that the girl is working on her own. And, cause, you know, there's been other girls in the industry who have a caliber of like professionalism where they were like getting professional people to shoot their stuff, and their fans were like, we don't want this. And they're like, what?
2,000 a scene. Yeah, they're crazy. Right? Let me ask you this question. So in 2006, you won AVN Female Performer of the Year, which in the industry is like winning a MVP of the league, or you know, that I'm comparing it to sports, but
it's true. I think you're right on with that.
All right, so you know, a lot of athletes that haven't won championships always say, you know, in the early moments of their career, they felt like they needed a championship, but the older they got and they retired and got out of the league, that championship really didn't mean shit when they're still who they are and they still made the money. Do you feel that way about your Female Performer of the Year award?
That I'm still the same person?
Like, do you feel like it helped your career, or do you feel like you could have did without it, or you like?
Oh, well, you know what? Honestly, I feel like at that time I didn't take advantage of winning it like I could have. So I think that, yeah, I don't think it would have. I mean, I don't know. Like, so many people put so much. I love that I got it, right? And I worked so hard. I worked so hard that I don't know. I feel like my work got honored, and so I was grateful that I did get it. And it's more about the recognition, I think, for the work that I did. And so I don't think it has much to do with like the success of my career or not. I think that was like, you know, the nomination alone for all the girls that got nominated is a big deal. Yeah. It is. So like, you know, just being a nominee is like, it's huge for your career. And so it's just really what you do with it. And at that time, I think I had like, I'd already had my first kid. So I was kind of like chilling out and wanting to be a mom at that point, you know.
So Audrey, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
In 2008, was it nominated or did you win the AVN award for most outrageous sexting and ass blasting felching?
I'm pretty sure I won that one. I was still like, oh my God, like, because it was just a point where I still wasn't working and I was still winning awards.
What did you say it was called?
It's called ass blasting felching, which I have a lot of questions about.
Yes.
Anal whores. What is felching?
Anal whores?
Yes, anal.
Yes, so it's like we did enemas in the movie. So we like I gotta say this is hilarious. Like so we did enemas in the movie, right? And I'm pretty sure that they like did like a milk with like food coloring in it, and to make it look like interesting, right? And like, I don't know, the director we were working for at the time was kind of like that.
Psychopath.
Anyway, so yeah, it was I don't even want to like tell you like the rest of it, but anyhow,
tell us.
We learned a few like scientific lessons that day that like, honestly, you have to use like you can't really use milk to do enemas, because if you do, like, it kind of curdles a little. It's gross. It's disgusting. Yes. So like what ended up happening, and like, thank God I was like the fifth scene that day, but regardless, like, honestly, if you do enemas, if you do anal, you dealt with like all kinds of
chocolate
shit,
oatmeal.
No pun intended, but this is the porn industry. This is like back when, like, honestly, there was so much shit that, like,
and y'all
like I said, no pun intended, but anyhow, that was like one of the like tougher like days that I've had to deal with on a set. So yeah, it was. Wow,
y'all was just squirting that shit in other guys' faces.
Anyhow, it won a fucking movie thing. Well, and I didn't even realize. Like, honestly, I've won so many fucking movies that I have forgotten some of the nominations and then some of the movies that have won. And so that one's really cool. I already won a movie this year for 2024 as well.
Really?
Not my movie personally, but a movie I was in. Yes. And it was the Night Moves Award. The movie is called Awesome Anal Movie. Is that not like the shit? Like, it's a great fucking name.
Anal movie.
Right?
Is it not the shit is crazy. Like for her to say all that and then say, is it not the shit is wild. Yo, I just looked up the word. I just looked up the word felching for everybody listening. I'm going to have you just look it up yourself. I have never heard that word before in my 45 years.
Felching?
Felching, F-E-L-C-H-I-N-G.
Yes, he's talking about the previous movie.
I have never heard it.
Felching was in the title. Anal movie.
And felching is the definition of felching is so insane. I'm not even going to read it on the air.
So I can't be like, yo, y'all want to go felching?
No, not at all. Felching is a word you should never use.
Okay, so
should I pause? Should I pause that?
I don't even know if you should pause it. I just feel like you shouldn't use it. I feel like felching should never be said
okay, so
this
anybody. Is a good example of like the era of porn that I come from is extremely like it's hardcore to the point, I think, to somewhat of like a being degrading to women on a lot of levels. So I think that like it was from an era where things just got so intense that like sometimes I think that there were lines crossed, but it was what the industry like wanted. I mean, look, that movie won a fucking award. Come on.
Freaks.
Like seriously, you have to look at like what it is that is like driving the industry, what's driving the marketing, and like who's buying what, frankly.
Good question. I like that you said that. What do you think's driving the industry and driving the market 2024?
Well, you know, it's been quite an adjustment to all of the like
young bitches.
Yeah,
no, it's always been there.
OnlyFans.
Always been there. It's always been there. That's, you know, teens are the number one selling thing. But you look at like how they're packaging it all up, and it's all of the step stuff, right? And like,
what like stepdaughters and stepsisters and stuff like that. That type of stuff.
Stepdaughters next door.
That's been a lot of what I've like role playing in that department.
Oh, so you're like the mother and shit.
Yes.
Yes. But the crazy part is you don't look that old to be playing those.
Yeah, you look like you would be the stepdaughter more than the stepmother.
Like the older sister. Like when I think like mother, I'm always thinking like older, gray hair. You know, like I don't think you, but I could be wrong.
Well, thank you. I feel like I have aged. I'm one of these people that age looks good on. So I feel like if you're one of the girls that like, you know, kind of blossomed out early, like in high school, you're, you know, it's a little bit different as you age. But if you blossom late and you're kind of like, I guess, a late bloomer, I feel like you can maybe hold your age a little differently. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I've noticed that, though. Have you not? Like, where some of the girls who kind of peak a little young.
Yeah.
Don't hold it as well, but then I think women in general look better than they ever have. And like 40 now versus like when we were growing up, because I'm in my 40s. I mean, I'm proud to say I'm 45. I don't care.
The same age. Okay. You was born 79. Okay.
Yeah. So when you say old, that's
old motherfuckers.
Okay.
I feel amazing though. Like, I feel like honestly,
I'm only a year younger. I'm just talking shit.
It's all good. It's all good. Like, I love being my age, and I would not change it for anything. And I feel like I'm in the best era of my life right now. And
I heard that. How's dating going?
I don't date because I have the ability to like just go have sex at work with like really professional.
Yeah, you be just felching all over the place. So
you stop it. You're so obsessed with this word.
You fucking felcher.
Well, I mean, it's derogatory in nature, and we've all identified that. So.
Oh shit! Hey! Good thing this is the Roll Podcast.
Absolutely.
Just saying, if we're gonna. Anyhow, it's a very, you know, interesting industry that I'm in, right? And so it's always fun to see what's driving the market. And yes, so far step shit has been the big thing, as well as like just kind of this kind of slapstick comedy approach to the dialogue and just like the lead up, in the setup for porn. Okay. I mean, I haven't been in any of the bigger productions or anything, but I'm just now like, after my induction into the Hall of Fame, getting more aligned with networking and being back in the industry. I've been taking it slow, you know.
So let me ask you this. You know, now that you're a Hall of Famer, how do you know, balance like your legacy and redefining yourself now with this new phase in your career? Like,
that's what is, well, it's getting to know the industry again, which has been interesting, and the way that people have control of their image and brand with OnlyFans and just like the, you know, Instagram and Twitter and all these different platforms, and how you really can just make a much better living being in control of everything yourself. Your image is just easier to, give people what you see about yourself instead of other companies, marketing an idea of how they see you. So it's really cool to give people a more genuine version of yourself, or like whatever version of yourself that you want them to see. And so it's a different connection, I think, to fan base and just the world in general. It's cool. I enjoy being back a part of it and honestly showing people me, and like I said, rediscovering my sexuality now as a single woman that doesn't have a partner or anyone creating the idea of what my sexuality is, because we're hired as actresses, as porn stars, to create what other people want us to do sexually, but all these other platforms like OnlyFans are giving us the ability to create and show people a different side of us, and I think that's cool.
So you come from the DVD era. The 2003, I see, is when your career started. So that was when DVDs was really, really popping. So what is your do you have the DVD that sold the most out of all of the ones you filmed?
Wow, that's a great question.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember joints like Backdoor Sluts 9 and stuff like that. But what was what was Audrey's one DVD that just went through the roof?
I honestly don't remember. I think that I don't know, because I worked for a lot of companies that probably could have been pretty competitive with their sales. And like you said, that was back in the era of all people actually.
All DVDs. That's all we did back then was buy them DVDs. So.
Right. So, I would think that probably my big one, Catherine, would probably be one of the ones that got bought a lot because it was just promoted a lot, and then, but that's back in the Gonzo era, where I did The Violation of Audrey Hollander, which was the very first award that I got, the all-girl.
Wait, time out. The Violation of Audrey Hollander?
Yes.
So what was that?
I don't even think you can use that in porn no more. I don't even think you can use that title no more.
What was happening in this movie? What was going? I need to see these movies. So we got to take over the world. We got
JM Productions was they produced this all girl series where they would recreate at the beginning. This was kind of the beginning of the parody takes, and so mine in particular was. Do you remember that movie Bring It On?
Yeah, absolutely. That was
okay. So I played Big Red. And I'm being a fucking bitch to all the girls. And I'm hey, you can't be eating that. Fat girls don't fly, bitch. And totally fucking absolutely crazy bitches, with being an asshole. And so they start tearing me up with some crazy big ass toys. And that's what the whole fucking
oh my God.
They tore her up with some crazy big ass.
It's a reverse.
Hey, hold on. Moody, for a minute, I was really thinking it was really they was acting out the movie.
No, so
oh shit.
Well, the whole thing was everybody played certain characters from the movie, and I was Big Red, the big bitch, and so forth. Anyway, it was it's funny because it's a reverse gangbang, and the setup though is me being an asshole to all the girls, so they just get fed up and they're let's take this bitch.
And they violate you, huh? That's
yeah.
Violation.
Come on. Wait. Let me ask this question for the listeners and secretly me. Where can one find these movies at now?
So you can just look it up. Seriously, look up The Violation of Audrey Hollander and you'll see Ashley Blue, Gia Paloma. These are two big stars back in my day, are in it. Who else? Fucking, man, I can see their faces, but I just can't, what were their names? Anyway, there's some good girls that were in that rank of hardcore chicks that had some dirty, nasty sex back in the day. We were just
fucking freaks.
We had some fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm realizing? I didn't know that they put y'all movies on IMDb. Y'all get like IMDb credits for these movies. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs.
So I just did. So you know the Eddie Van Halen thing. In fact, I was put for the second time in the Erotic Museum of Art in Vegas, and then I've also been.
Oh, really?
In the Erotic Museum of Art in New York, and I think New Orleans. Like, yeah, I've been in a lot of like different cool like. But that one in particular, the one in Vegas that they just had all of Eddie Van Halen's guitars and stuff like that set out that he played. And like I said, you can see the video on YouTube and the music that he wrote for one of the songs for the movie Catherine.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, cool.
So with the rise of AI in the industry, especially with the creation of AV avatars, how you feel about AI?
I think it's really cool. Actually, I am not going to say it just yet because it's still all being ironed out, the contracts, but I just got done working with a company in Italy who are making like these avatars of their football players, aka soccer players here in America. And I went over and saw their whole like technology, like they're like, it's insane what they can do now with this AI stuff. And honestly, I think as long as you're working with someone that creates an AI for you and the contract works in your favor, as a, talent, and you have like a certain degree of control over that.
Like owning the rights to your AI.
Yes. Yes. Pretty much. And so, yeah, I mean, when you have your copyright and all these other things that you need to get as a performer, I think those things are important. But yeah, because like I've been dealing with contracts and looking at like how I want to manage this part of my career as well. I think it's cool though, because when you don't want to work, you can have something that you can make money from, a percentage from, right? Obviously, whoever helps you create it is going to take some, but the length of the contract, the length of time people can use your image, all these things are important. And I think a lot of girls just sign away a lot of rights without reading anything because they just see like one number, especially the younger ones. And
that's what I wanted
advantage of, which sucks. But that's like.
Did that happen any time in your career?
I mean, that happened. Like, I think that all the images that you get to see for free is bullshit, because we should always be getting a little bit of a royalty, I think, from something, just like other actors. Like, for, I don't know. Porn stars have been getting like fucked in the ass. No pun intended again. In that regard though, for a long time. So we've kind of signed a lot of our rights away. But now that we have all these things changing, with the OnlyFans and then the AI, like we can take more control now that like, I think people are understanding and realizing what it is that.
So let me ask you this question, since we brought up OnlyFans again. Are you really running your OnlyFans, or do you have a chatter?
No, I run my OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So y'all hear that, guys? She's really talking to y'all. It's not a fucking bot. It's not a chick in Russia. It's not a dude in Russia. It's me.
It is. And like, so that's also like, cause I am not on there like nonstop. So that's another indicator that like, if you're really talking to the person, you know what I mean? Like, I'm on there as much as I can be, but I know that some people get all pissy and they're like the transient people on my account, cause like, they're like, I guess they want me to be a bot, but I can't be a bot. Like, I only have so much time in a day, and the fact that it does take me, like, you have to give me time like a real human to get back to you. But I like to do like, so one way I do interact with my fans to make them feel assured they're interacting with me is I do voice messages for like sexting and stuff like that. Like, if you can't do like a video chat or something like that, like you get like a voice, because no one can take my voice. Right? So I feel like that's one way that kind of helps. I mean, right? Because I do know that people are always like, "Is this really you?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah, you just pay $17.99. Of course, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
At any point in your OnlyFans career, have you made more money than you made in a year of shooting back in the day?
Oh my goodness, no, because I haven't been that. I've not been one of those like super duper active girls, like, you know what I mean, that is like out in because I haven't been in LA, like based in LA like that. And I think that matters with like how you're creating and generating your income, because I do a lot of solo stuff, and I don't, at one point, like I had a boyfriend that was like helping me a little bit. It's so interesting how a lot of guys aren't very good once the camera comes on. And,
well, my
co-host
has a video with, what's her name again?
Melissa Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, is that one of your go-tos?
Well,
go ahead, David.
she's on another podcast, a rival podcast of ours, but she's on his OnlyFans, so
yeah.
They can't really be rivals if she's on his, you know.
Oh, nice. You know, I'm always looking for some good BBC for my content.
That was another question I was going to ask. Did you shoot interracial back in the day?
Yes, I have. It wasn't a whole lot. It was not because I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't end up with like, I mean, let's see. I had Mr. Biggs, Mr. Marcus.
Shout out to Mr. Marcus. He's been on the pod.
Yeah, right. I really wanted to fuck Lexington Steele, but I never got to. Like, that was such a shame, because like I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, so I'm like, oh man, Lexington, right? Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah. I'm all laughing.
Oh shit! Yeah. I ain't even get that.
Is that where he's from?
That was. She hit us with an entendre. That nigga from Compton. That nigga from Compton.
Is that where he's from, really?
I have no fucking clue. She said she wanted to fuck him because his name was Lexington, and he was oh shit.
It doesn't, like, honestly, it doesn't matter to me. You know, I love interracial sex, so I think it's great. So, you know, okay. It was just, I don't think I got the pleasure of like working with that many black guys back in the day. I think I've had, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, there's a couple more. Oh, Mr. Brian Pumper. I remember that guy, like
wait a minute. You did a thing with Pumper?
Yes. He had this weird fetish too.
Was he rapping and shit? Did he crack an egg over your head?
Was you in Cracking Eggs? Yes. That was my favorite series.
No, is that something he did?
Yeah, it was my favorite series by him, Cracking Eggs.
I think that's why he ended up going to prison.
Oh my god, seriously?
Because I think he cracked one on like an underage chick.
I thought he was going to stay on an undercover cop.
And she like pressed charges and he went to jail. I just saw him on Venice last week. He was on Venice Beach last week.
Wow. Okay, small world, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I know. Old school, back in the day, man. So you remember like Anabolic and Diabolic, right?
Yeah.
I did a DP scene with two black guys, but I can't remember their names for the life of me because they were like up and coming, right? And
was it Dick Van Pike? Was it Dick Van Pike?
That sounds familiar. Maybe it was. I think that honestly, because I was like, maybe, I don't know. I would have to look up the scene because I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that was Dick Van Pike. Pause. I think that was him.
Anyhow, why are you laughing? What is so funny about this?
Nothing. Oh,
I don't remember who the other co-stars were because, like I said, they were up and coming, but they never like went all the way up, I guess, because I never really heard about them after that.
It's crazy how many people don't make it in the adult industry. Like and it's crazy. It's like, is it worth shooting one video and it being circulated 15 million times? You don't own the rights to the videos, none of that shit, and then retire and just dip.
You know who was like that?
Who?
What's his face? What was his boy name? Wait, time out. Wait. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Time in. Next question.
Hold up.
So when he figures out who he's talking about, I got another question. So you did the body art series, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes, I love this. So for my OnlyFans, this is how it started. I, was like trying to figure out different ideas for live shows and how to make it more interesting, right? And so I'm an artist, and I started like painting myself nude, and while I was like fucking myself with dildos and, having a sex show while I was painting myself and kind of dancing around to music. And then I print once I'm done painting myself and fucking myself and connecting with the audience, I print my torso and breast onto the canvas, and then I sell it with like the lingerie that I have on during the show and the little video.
How much is that going for?
So I sold one for the most was $1,500. So that was like a really validating point in my life as an artist. I was like, yay, that's a great sale for a painting. But I mean, I also like prepare the canvas prior to the show with like, some personal like art. So it's not just like the painted version of me. And then like you get pictures of pre and then post, obviously with a little message. And then there's like, I want to do 13 prints in the series, and they're all numbered. So
okay.
George Floyd.
One more time.
George Floyd.
What about George Floyd?
He did a porno once and then retired.
Oh, you were, you're late as hell, dog. Oh my God.
Well, I'm sure there's more than George Floyd in the pool of one-timers. I think a lot of those gangbang movies have a lot of the one-timers.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the book you got coming, and then I want to get into our top 5. Moody gonna get us rolling with that. Tell us about the book.
So yeah, I have started writing about my time in the industry, and like honestly, it's taken me a while to even like, get started, because I was like, what approach do I want to take to like, explaining, this part of my life, because there's like obviously the beginning chapter and then this one that I'm like reliving, which is honestly, I'm so glad that I decided to come back and show this part of myself, because the time that I was in the industry was kind of, it was crazy what I went through personally, while I was developing all of this, porn for everyone to see in this other part of myself. It was quite different on the other side of things. So I think it's important for me to like, explain to people though, like what healing looks like, honestly. There's a lot of different like perspectives that you can take, and I decided to go with the more healed and half full glass,
Okay. So with that being said, I also want listeners to know, like, just because you see somebody having a great time shooting movies, putting content in for you, know they got other things they could be having going on. So respect the art.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Like, I have learned a lot about a lot of like Hollywood like stars, and how, what we see is not always what we get. And I think it's a great thing to understand the other side of performers.
Facts.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, anyhow, it's going to be a really cool book, I think, because it's going to, give people inspiration and, hopefully help them connect with different parts of their sexuality, which is ultimately what I do as an artist. I celebrate the origins of life, and I have different mediums that I use in order to, express myself through this language of love. And
do you have a title? You got a title?
I haven't gotten a title yet for the book. No, I think that honestly I'm going to write it and then title it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Top 5, Moody?
All right, well, yeah, let's get into this top 5. Top 5. We about to do the top 5 actresses. Or it ain't even gotta be actresses.
Let's do actors. Let's do actors and let's do everybody. Let's do
everybody.
Yeah.
From the golden era, and we'll extend the golden era. We'll go from the 90s into the 2000s. We're gonna do the top 5.
Oh wow! Of my choice, male and female in my industry.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so Belladonna was like I looked up to Belladonna before I got into the industry. I thought she was really cool. And, just her style.
That's Alexis's too, by the way.
Oh, nice. I love it. Yes, she was big. So, in like
Where
that.
is she? What does she got going on, right? Like, is she?
You know what? She had some kids, and I think she got married and just kind of like
lives in Hungary now or some shit.
Hungary is crazy.
Well, I didn't.
Hey, if anybody's gonna go to Hungary, it'd be her. Like, she probably lives in China right now or some shit.
Well, there's always something very cool that goes along with like sex workers and where they end up and how they end up procuring a life outside of the industry.
Belladonna's in fucking Mars right now, chilling.
Well,
okay, number 1.
She would be, because like she was like, someone who totally inspired me before I even got into the industry. And so someone else, oh my gosh. So
you got 4 more.
This is so difficult. Wow. I think Alexis Texas would be one of the top 5 too. She's awesome. Okay. She was like, when she came in, like she seriously like changed things with like, how the perspective of what a girl should look like. And like, she has this amazing just fucking presence and that big fucking juicy ass.
What's funny about Alexis is I've known and been around Alexis for so long that I remember when she would like tell, because at the time she was married to Mr. Pete, and at the time Mr. Pete was my best friend. So anyway, so I would be around and I would hear her, saying like, oh, they said my ass is too big, or oh, and then I remember it changing like literally in like a year to where ass was everything.
Yeah, she was at the beginning of that. I think she.
We call it a prototype. We call it a prototype.
Yeah. I mean, like honestly, I think that she was probably one of the biggest influences of like girls at the beginning of all of that. So I think that's cool to be a trailblazer of any kind. So yeah, she's got to be up there. And then, oh goodness, so there's so many really hot chicks back in the day, right? I mean, there really were, and so Before me, though, let's see, who else would I?
How many we got so far?
2. Belladonna and Alexis.
Yeah. It's so hard because there's so many people that are so amazing, and right, so.
I got my 5. I got my 5.
Let's
Dylan.
I know. I feel like I should pick a guy too. I don't want to just pick chicks.
No, pick who you want to pick. This is your list.
Well, I really enjoyed having sex with, Manuel Ferrara was really good. Like, of all the guys in my era, like, I had a couple of scenes with him and I really enjoyed him a lot. That was amazing. So yeah, we'll put him on there, and then
I used to kick his ass in basketball.
Man, and then like just currently, like another French guy, like I really like Alex Legend. Like he has got a great personality and a great fucking dick. Like seriously.
Pause.
And then like I also think that, well, I mean, now that I'm just like thinking about dick, because I've been able to interact with more dick than girls. Well, only because I haven't been able to like hang out and do like, okay, so here's the reality of like a really sad thing. I almost wish I could have a guys and a girls list now. Is that fair?
No, I'm joking. No, you got a good list. You got one more to go.
Man, let's see. I really, really want to. So there's like a couple of girls that I haven't been able to work with that are like new in the industry and are super hot, right? I don't know how to approach this one. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to give me a second. I don't know how to do the last one because like there's a few chicks that are in the business that I haven't got to work with yet that I think would be a lot of fun to work with, and they're the newer ones, right? So I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to go with what's relevant and who I've worked with. And recently I got to work with Dan Damage too, and he was a lot of fun as well. So Alex Legend and Dan Damage are two people that are new in the business new to me. Although when I saw Alex Legend, he like was fanboying out on me when he saw me sitting there. Although he's like been in the industry for a little while, but I never got to like work with him. I think he got in like right around the time that I was leaving.
Okay.
Or something like that. Anyway, that I think that's good because it's relevant, right?
Yeah, that's a good list. You got Belladonna, Alexis Texas, Manuel Ferrer, and Alex Legend and Dan Damage.
Yes, okay. And then there's like a few other girls like
and
Queenie.
You got some honorable mentions. Okay.
Yeah, Queenie Satine is a new girl that I find super hot, and I'm very intrigued by her. And then Casey, Cavet, I think I'm saying that right. Cavet.
Moody, who you got?
My joint is simple. I got Janet Jackney, Spontaneous Ecstasy, Kim Eternity, Purple Passion, and Jada Fire. Bam.
Okay.
Bam.
What about the guys?
No, I don't have no guys. I have no guys.
I got Pinky.
Oh, that's a good one.
I got D. A lot of y'all, you probably don't remember D. She was like Spanish.
D? I don't remember her.
I feel like I recognize the name.
Yeah, she was Spanish, real pretty. She had
like light skin.
Yeah, light skin, curly hair, like fine.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I gotta give one up for Jessie Jane.
Oh, right. Yes.
Mr. Marcus, Jake Steed, Wesley Pipes. Come on now. Come on now. Ignorant.
Pause.
Mr. Marcus was so good, honestly.
This is top five. This is top five.
All my top five had to be on the cover of Blacktail at one point. So yeah, there's that.
Did you ever have any encounters with Jake Steed?
No.
He was like what was the dude's name you said you saw? He was Brian Pumper before Brian Pumper was Brian Pumper.
Oh, okay.
He was back in the day.
Yeah, he was a wild dude.
All right, interesting. Yeah, no, the guys that I worked with as of recent that were really good performers. I didn't get to work with Jax, but I did work with Rob Piper.
I got one more question before we end this.
Yeah.
So, nowadays they got Viagra, they got fucking Blue Chew, they got all kind of shit they could use. In your era, were motherfuckers really injecting their shits?
Oh, hell yes. It's called Caverject.
It's called what?
It's called Caverject, the medicine. Just all those people out there that want to know what the fuck it is, I'm pretty sure that was the name of it.
Caverject.
Yeah, it's something that you inject in your penis and it keeps it hard even after you come.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
You Googling that shit right now.
No, I'm not.
Well, it is how they made so, and then like what I find insane is that like people don't even hide it anymore. Like people are like straight up honest and like transparent about it, whereas the guys in my era, a bunch of them would be like, pretend like they don't do it, but they just run around with these like jack hard penises while they're doing these insane fucking positions. I mean, how do you think that guys are like doing the double anal and
beat shit down?
Insane, like just sticking shit up a girl's vagina that doesn't belong there, like cucumbers and fucking baseball bat. I mean, like, literally, I saw Belladonna stick a Louisville Slugger up her ass, and I was like, I have to do that too.
That's the story I always hear about Belladonna. Another question: what tips would you give a man to stay hard and stay, solid while fucking? Like, what's one tip you'll give them in your experience and your expertise? Somebody's listening right now.
Go to your happy place. I don't care who you're with. Like, even if it's like this weird, dirty fetish that you have, like, always think about what makes you happy. If you're having problems, like, close your eyes and go there. And, like, don't think about anything else around you. You've really got to tune out when you're in these, like, places, like, and just, like,
damn, but what if your happy place is in another chick's pussy?
Well, you have to, like, think about that chick's pussy.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, you don't have to vocalize everything, though. Like, there's plenty of people that fantasize, and, like, I feel like that's part of my job as a sex worker, performer, is I give some guys, like, that ability to, like, think about that nasty ass thing that I'll do that his girlfriend or wife won't do, and but he respects her too much, and, like, her boundary of not wanting to do it, but he also is a freak on the side and likes watching that porn with the girl that will do it. And so, like, you gotta give a shout out to the bitches like me who are out there doing it, so that guy is still fucking his girl, but he's thinking about me while he's doing it. But still, like, there's just some things that are unspoken,
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Moody, you got another question before we log out?
No, man, I just, Fauci and took me out today, so I'm sexed out for the night.
Okay, Audrey, you want to shout out your social medias?
Yes. So my Twitter is oh man, I always fuck this part up. I really do, because I have to. Yeah. Okay. So no, Instagram is the Audrey Hollander, is the one with the blue check mark, and then Twitter is the real Audrey XXX. And let's see, I'm on Instagram, what's the other one? TikTok. That's just Audrey Hollander.
Okay.
And of course, find me on my OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, and I got one more question. Where can I find these movies at? Where are these movies? Where is Takes Over the World and Getting Violated? I need to watch both of those.
Okay, so yes, The Violation, I would just look it up, because honestly, like, I figured you got everything on Pornhub now. Or, like, you know what I mean? These older movies like that, because those, I don't have the license for it. Like, I did have my own production company, so I have a lot of old content that belongs to me, but the fletching one is not mine. And I would look up the names of the movie and you'll find it. Just follow the rabbit holes,
He about to beat off to that shit as soon as we get off.
I would be on my Eddie Van Halen and I like,
not on your Eddie Van Halen. Not on my Eddie Van Halen. Oh shit.
Well, so where are you all located? Like, are you all in LA or?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Philly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that was my first porn, was in Philly. Oh my god, like.
Oh shit, you went and shot there? Like, why?
Yeah, well, because it was like at the very, very beginning, like before I went and did the Ed Powers thing. It was like for, it wasn't like real porn, but it was like my first time like going to like be, in a content position. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Somebody pulled their camera out.
Were you in West Philadelphia, born and raised?
Right,
on the playground was where I spent most of my day.
Yeah,
wow.
It was fun, but and then I'll be in Vegas at the beginning of December, so.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm out here. I'll be at AVN. I'll be at Exoticas, most of the time, wherever Alexis is, I'm somewhere around.
Nice. Well, wonderful. It's really been a pleasure. Like, you all are funny.
It also was a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, we loved it. This was dope.
Well, I definitely hope that all of your viewers and listeners, or I guess it's just listening, huh? are entertained.
Yes,
I'm sure they will be. This was